Hey guys, welcome to Red 50. Thank you for tuning into another video. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing should you run 87 octane versus 93 octane on your 2019 Mustang GT or any Mustang GTs 2018 and above that come with the Gen 3 Coyote engine. I currently run 93 octane premium gas in my 2019 Mustang GT. However, I did run 87 octane, which is the regular gas, about 1 year into my ownership of my 2019 Mustang GT. So I feel like I have enough experience with 87 octane and 93 octane to really give you some insight as to why you should run 93 octane over the 87 octane, which is the regular gas. So in this video, we're going to be looking at what difference it will make if you were to run 93 octane in terms of the power of your Gen 3 Coyote motor, the gas mileage, and also the long-term effect that you may experience with your engine. By the way, the type of gas that you use in your Mustang GT also matters. Not all gas stations' gas is the same. So there is something called top tier certification. So I always get the top tier gas in my Mustang GT because, like I said, not all 93 octane is going to be the same. So if you go for some no-name brand 93 octane, it may not be actual certified 93 octane, which could mean you can run into issues with your Mustang GT. So I'm going to post a link in the description that highlights all the different top tier gas stations that you can use so you can see which one's nearby so you can utilize them. Okay, so first up, let's talk power with the 93 octane. So this Mustang GT is equipped with the Gen 3 Coyote motor, which makes 460 horsepower stock compared to the Gen 2 Coyote motors, which were 435 horsepower stock. This Gen 3 motor can be found in all the 2018 and up Mustang with the V8, so if you get the Bullet, GT, or even a Mach 1, you'll have that option with the Gen 3 Coyote compared to the Gen 2 Coyote, which was found in 2015 to 2017 Mustangs. So the Gen 2 Coyote or the Gen 2 50 had the compression ratio of 10:1, which was pretty high to begin with, but these Gen 3 Coyote motors actually have the compression ratio of 11:1, which is partially the reason why they're able to squeeze out a little bit more power out of this 50 compared to the older one. And also the reason why I did switch to 93 octane about a year into my ownership, which we will discuss later in the video. Now, believe it or not, Ford does recommend running 87 octane on this Gen 3 Coyote motor, even though we just talked about it has the 11:1 compression ratio and obviously is a high revving V8. Ford does say that if you were to run 87 octane on this 2019 Mustang GT, you'll experience about 1 to 2% loss in power, which would mean, if you do the math, about 10 to 15 horsepower max, and that's being generous with my calculation. So, can you tell the difference between 1 to 2%, 15 horsepower max? Probably not. Maybe your butt dyno can tell, but I highly doubt you'll be able to tell the actual difference on the street. Matter of fact, when I was running 87 octane, I did go head-to-head with a couple of the Gen 2 Coyote Mustang GTs that were bolt-ons. One was full bolt-on, the other one I don't believe had headers on. But despite that, I was running the 87 octane, and I was able to take them about a length, 1 car length or so, which is pretty impressive. I'm sure the 10-speed transmission had to do with it, but at the same time, when you're running 87 octane, you're running less horsepower. In terms of the horsepower numbers, I'm pretty sure we were evenly matched if they had bolt-ons. So since having switched to the 93 octane on my 2019 Mustang GT, I don't think I've really noticed a power difference, to be honest with you. I'm sure if I was to take it to a track or drag strip, I may notice like a little bit number difference, but as it stands right now, I really couldn't tell the difference, to be honest with you. Now, I'm sure if you were taking road trips in your car and you weren't really getting on the gas, just cruising around, 87 octane could be fine because you're not really revving the engine a lot. So 87 in that case may make sense for you because Ford does recommend doing the 87 octane at the minimum. So you could get away with 87 octane over 93 octane, which is a premium gas on a 2019 Mustang GT for some of the long road trips. Now, talking about the road trips, one of the important things is the miles per gallon or the gas average. So when I was running the 87 octane in my 2019 Mustang GT, I was probably averaging around 20.5 miles per gallon, and my drive consisted of about 50-50 split, I want to say, in terms of city and highway. Now, since I've switched to 93 octane, I'm also averaging similar miles per gallon. I mean, this is the trip to have driven about 7,000 miles on it, so 21 average. And then we've got trip 1, which has 1,300 miles on it, 20.7. I don't recall when I resetted the strip, but as you can see, I mean, regardless, I really like to have fun with my car too. It's not like it's being driven like a Lexus or a Cadillac and just doesn't get any gas. I like to have fun with my car. Despite all of that, it's still able to give over 20 miles per gallon, which in my opinion is very impressive given that you've got a 5-liter V8 making 460 horsepower stock. Some people do say that running 93 octane is gonna result in a little bit better gas mileage, which I guess you can see here. Again, the difference is negligible because once you factor in the higher gas prices, you'll probably net out, or you're probably still paying more for the 93 octane compared to the 87 octane. But like I said, the gas mileage is still pretty good for having this massive V8 into this Mustang GT. I personally have no complaints. If I'm going on road trips, I have seen up to 28 miles to gallon when I'm just cruising, barely giving it any gas. Okay, so now let's talk about the main reason why you should really be running 93 octane on your 2019 Mustang GT or any V8 with the Gen 3 Coyote. And which is why I personally also switched to 93 octane despite 87 octane running just fine for me. And that is a long-term effect on your engine running the 87, which is the regular gas, versus the 93 octane, which is the premium gas. Now, as we discussed earlier in the video, that this Gen 3 Coyote is 11:1 compression compared to the 10:1 compression found in the Gen 2 Coyotes in 2015 and 2017 Mustang GTs. And this is probably one of the biggest reasons why you should be running 93 octane over 87 octane in your Mustang GT with the Gen 3 Coyote. So while Ford does recommend running 87 octane, or not recommend, but at least the minimum rating is 87 octane on your Mustang GT, the knock sensors are working extremely hard to keep the knockdown on your 2019 Mustang GT when you're running 87 octane. They're just having to work a little bit harder compared to what 93 octane would do, as it burns a little bit better than the 87 octane. Now, would you notice some immediate reliability concerns? I would say probably not, because this is a long-term effect. Like I said in the video, you're not going to experience something right away. But if you do intend to own your Mustang GT for a very long period of time, it is definitely recommended that you run 93 octane so you're not worried about some engine issues down the line as you cross, I don't know, 100,000 miles or even more. Because any saving that you would do running 87 octane over 93 octane in your Mustang GT will be completely wiped off if your Mustang GT starts having engine issues with the 5.0. So I personally recommend using the 93 octane or the premium gas on your Mustang GT with the Gen 3 Coyote engine found in 2018 and up Mustangs with the V8, of course excluding the Shelby. Now I know the gas prices are really increasing recently, and driving this massive V8 does get pretty costly, but in the end, like I said, it's going to be the difference in the price of the gas versus potential engine issues. I would much rather take the increased prices of gas than the engine replacement cost out of warranty. So guys, there you have it. Make sure you run 93 octane on your Mustang GTs to avoid knock sensor working pretty hard and keeping your engine safe and healthy. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button and comment below what you think about the 87 octane versus 93 octane debate. And as always, subscribe to Red 50 for more Mustang content.